Welcome to the Elated Egos Podcast with Micheal and Ray. This week's podcast is on relationships, why we have them, and how not to be a dick. Welcome to the Ego. Alright, to the next part, romantic relationships. One of us here in the conversation has a girlfriend, the other one does not, so you get to see from both perspectives. I'm sorry to make Michael cry.
No, it's okay.
So I'll start it off. As I've said before, I have a girlfriend. I love her to death. She is the most amazing, perfect, beautiful, fantastic, funny, cute, amazing. Did I say amazing already? Well, she's fucking amazing person I've ever met in my life. And I want to put a ring on that finger. We've been dating for 9 months. Today is our 9-month anniversary.
Aww.
I know. And to think about it, my parents were dating for less time and got married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were 20. My dad was 22 at the time, so. And my mom was 25. But, like, I care about this woman so much, and she means the fucking world to me. I don't know what I would do if I lost her. I'd probably kill myself, to be honest. I'd probably blow my brains out if something happened.
Well, luckily, you guys look like y'all are going to stay together for a while. But, see, that's what I'm trying to find right now. Raymond's really lucky to have one of those. Like, see, I figured out last year from my last relationship, a lot of high school relationships I found out, I'm kind of stupid for not knowing, but I should have realized that a lot of high school relationships aren't really there for love. They're just kind of there to kind of fucking cuddle, and that's really about it.
Well, fucking cuddling is fun.
It is fun, but it's also like 5,000 times better when they love you, and you know that they're not going to leave you.
Yeah.
See, like with my last relationship, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of cuddling and fuck. Like, that's all she wanted. But I was like, I was going to make her I fucking hate saying this because I get made fun of so much. I was like, I was going to make her wait 2 months before I fucked her. And she couldn't wait that long. And she broke up with me. So, that really fucking broke my heart because, like, it was the first, emotional connection I've had since my mom. I wasn't, relationship with my mom, but, I actually, had feelings for my mom because she's my mom. Everybody loves their mom to death. But with my girlfriend, I loved her on a, except for Raymond. Like I said, everybody has a different situation.
Everyone's weird.
And,
but sorry to interrupt.
So, when I finally had, when I had her, and it was only, a year after my mom, and it was close to her anniversary of my mom's death, and it hasn't even been a year since she died, so I got so freaking attached. She gave me all the attention I wanted. Well, we would stay up late watching movies, stay up late texting, and it was just really nice to have her. And so when she broke up with me, it really did break my heart. But I was kind of thankful for it because it made me realize, I'm like, okay, good. At least I know not to go out first. I have to be very picky on who I choose. To be my girlfriend, because Raymond was lucky enough to have his girlfriend, because they've been dating for 9 months, and same with my friend Alex too. Even Alex is planning to marry his girlfriend or not. I don't know, but he really does like her.
She has to grow up a little bit,
so it won't be a pedo.
Yeah.
But so it's with high school relationships. Odds are it's gonna end unless you're lucky. And, because,
it's a sad thing to say, but it's true.
It's very true, because everybody is just very high school, hormonal, horny-ass teenagers who just want to bang all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest problem the biggest thing why high school relationships end is because of college.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main factors of why, two people that have been together for the last, year, 2 years, 3 years, then they reach the end of their senior year, one of them's going to U of H, the other one's going to Northwestern. That's not going to work. And
long distance are very hard, very hard. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 it's going to fail.
Yeah.
And see, with me, even if I had complete trust in my girlfriend, I knew she wouldn't. I'm the most paranoid person there is. I get so paranoid. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, she's talking to another guy. Oh my god. I'm just gonna be constantly stressing.
There have been times where one of my friends, because My girlfriend and I, we both work at the same restaurant. She works as a manager. I'm like in training right now. But I remember when I was still kind of a waiter, she was a manager. One of my friends that got him a job, he was starting like kind of like be a little hitty on my girlfriend. And like I started to get this feeling like I'm gonna murder this man if he tries anything. I like you, dude, but I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
I had to talk to him like right afterwards and be like, hey, don't even. You can do it with anyone else. You can do it to any guy. You can be gay with me, but you do not say those things to my girlfriend.
Yeah. See, like that's why I just get too sketched out.
Yeah.
And I'm a pussy. Raymond's not. So I would kind of just like let it happen. Actually, I think if I actually really liked her, I would have probably got defensive about it. But Ed Raymond, I can tell you really like your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But for me, like when I was dating my ex girlfriend, like I still kind of knew it wasn't gonna last. So I didn't like love her, but okay. So not all the times you marry the girlfriend you love. And sometimes you just realize you love her. Like my grandfather was telling me a story like about his friend who was married to this girl. They didn't like fall in love. Like they never fell in love, but they were married. They got married anyway. I mean, they liked each other a lot. They never argued or anything. And then one day he was just lying next to her and he looked at her and he's like, "Wow, this is the girl I love." And see, I was hoping I would find that with my ex
I
girlfriend.
actually had a moment like that myself. But no,
Yeah,
continue.
like with my ex girlfriend, I didn't like look at her and say, "Oh my God, I love this woman," but she liked me, and I was like, "Okay, I'll just give it a shot, whatever." And I was talking to her, and then we started dating, and then I never had that moment yet, but I was like, it could happen, it could. So I completely forgot where I was going with that, but with a lot of relationships, um, they're all different, really.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might just fall in love. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. Sometimes the relationship will not work.
And yeah,
But Michael, how many relationships have you been? Like romantic relationships.
one.
One. Okay, I've had 2.5, I think.
Yeah.
Technically 3, but the second one I had lasted for about a week, and
2 and a tenth.
yeah, like to be honest, looking back on that relationship, I was in a bad part of my life. I felt alone in the world. It was with that girl, it was right after I learned the real reason why my first girlfriend broke up with me, because she lied to me, and it kind of hurt me. So I was just in a part of my life where like I need something. I just need something to hold on to. I need something. And I wasn't looking towards my friends. I was looking towards a girl again, because I saw every girl as like, oh, a potential relationship, because that's the only thing that was on my mind. I couldn't see things in the way they were as like, hey, you gotta care about your friends. I was just like, oh, I want that romantic connection again. I need it. That I actually felt on my first relationship, but it was nowhere close to the one I have right now. But like I think that's why that second one lasted a week, because it was just like a petty, pathetic relationship, not for the sake of love, but for the sake of my own ego.
I really feel that though. Like when you said when she broke up with you, you felt really alone, and you know what the sucky part about when I broke up with my girlfriend? My mom was just died, so like for some reason every anniversary or every time she died, almost every anniversary, even though there's only been one, like I just get like really like weird. I don't get angry or anything, but I just feel weird. I can't explain it, but after she broke up with me, it's like, okay, on top of this, she broke up with me. And that was around the time, if you would listen to our first podcast on Tuesday, that was when my friend Max was starting. That was when everything happened. I had a bad trip myself, and I remember I remember I predicted the future. I know it's not possible, but like I did it, and I knew like something was gonna happen soon, like something like bad, like I was about to experience more loss, and then shortly after my bad trip, my friend had his bad trip, and then that's when kind of like my friendships like started to fall apart, and I kind of realized like it's probably better to stay alone, for some people, and it's not good to stay alone. Like so now I'm trying to search for myself, but like with them I had to separate myself from all of them, unwillingly, but. I didn't want to, because I mean I was so close to these guys. They were like my family.
Yeah.
And and then they were all I had when after my mom died. So I got super, super close to these guys, but then it just all went downhill.
Yeah.
And now I'm on the search again.
Yeah. It sucks to be on the search after you feel a relationship. For my first relationship, lasted about 3.5 months. Sophomore year, first girlfriend ever, first kiss ever too. She was a very smart girl, very cute. I see her every once in a while, and it sucks that like I had that relationship and it fell through, and that the reason she broke up with me was because she didn't like the fact that I did drugs and shit, that I smoked weed and I did acid, and those were really the only things I did at the time, which, to be honest, are kind of the safest things you can do.
Exactly.
I mean, if you we'll have a discussion on this one day, but like,
I don't judge.
She was very judgmental in that way, and when she did break up with me, it was the first day of summer, between sophomore and junior. The very first day, I was just hanging out with my buddy, the friends who I was like best friends with. I was riding back from his house on my bike, and I get a text and it says, "Hey, we need to talk." And I immediately started to freak out because I know what those words mean. And she texted me, and that's the worst part. She broke up with me over text, which is fucking disgusting. Please do not do that. You go hang yourself if you do that, please. But she told me that the relationship wasn't gonna last because she wasn't gonna be here all summer. She was gonna be like traveling and shit, and which made sense to me at the time because she lived in a nice neighborhood. She had rich parents. One of them was like some type of engineer that makes way too much money. Like, I think her mom worked as like a correspondent to NASA or something. Like, they made a lot of money. They traveled all over the world and stuff. So to me, it kind of made sense at the time. It still hurt a lot. What are you going to say, Mike?
I don't judge people who do drugs, but I do judge people who will completely ditch you for drugs, really.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. But if you're able to handle yourself and you be sober with people, and actually, sometimes, like when I've been high in front of my grandparents, they didn't even know. But if you can handle yourself like that, go ahead. But like if you can tell you are, just don't, because everybody will know, and it's just rude sometimes.
I tried to avoid being intoxicated around her as much as possible because I knew she wasn't the most like okay with it. She never really did anything. She did drink though. She did like to party and drink with her soccer buddies. So I kind of saw that as a point of hypocrisy. When she did finally tell me the real reason, but like she told me she wasn't going to see me at all during the summer, so she just wanted to cut it off. So like the relationship didn't like go astray. A few months later, we start talking again. It's right before school. We start like texting each other. We talk a little bit. And I ask her if she wants to try and start up the relationship again. Because I'm still under the impression, it's just because she couldn't see me. She couldn't see me. Me, a little naive 16-year-old self, being a fucking idiot. And she tells me flat out, hey, this is the reason why I saw you as a druggie. I saw you that you're going to ruin your life. I didn't want you to hold me back. And I was like,
wow.
What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you just tell me the truth in the first place? Why didn't you just tell me, I just don't like your lifestyle. I just don't like it. The reason that she lied to me, it's what really killed me. For the next 5 months of my life, like, I felt like total shit for that entire time. I didn't know where I was going. I wasn't dedicated to anything, really. Like, the only thing I had at that time was my best friend and my football team. And even then, my football team didn't mean a lot to me because I just wasn't, our team sucks, to be honest. But at that year, it was just terrible, quite just terrible. Our quarterback couldn't do shit, our receivers couldn't run routes, and our running back couldn't run. So I had given up on football at the time, and I was left off, broken, shattered by this woman. That stupid 1 week fling, not really even a fling, just a thing that happened that even made it even worse because the fact that it only lasted a week really fucking hit me hard.
Yeah, and relationships are like very, very scary.
Yeah.
Like that's why with now, like even back then when I was choosing my friends, I was very picky. But sometimes you gotta realize like it's okay to have some friends that aren't maybe on your level or something. But with when I'm trying to find an actual relationship like with a girl, I'm so picky. Like I have to have like almost close to the perfect girl. Close, like where I know we won't argue, I know like I won't have things to disagree on, I know she won't disagree with me. Like relationships are so scary, and I'm in a way I'm grateful for my ex-girlfriend because she did teach me. I'm like, wow, that really hurt me, and I need to know better. Like I need to know better next time.
Yeah. And I mean, I took a lot of the lessons that I got from my first relationship, and I applied them to being a better person during my second, or during technically the third one, but I really consider it only my second one with my current girlfriend, Maddie. And it's funny because I used LSD and mushrooms and substances like that, psychedelics, to actually teach myself how to become a better boyfriend. Which I find kind of ironic, since that's the reason why my first girlfriend dumped me in the first place. But I use them as a teaching tool, like where I fucked up in the first relationship. Because it wasn't just that. I saw myself as not, like, going back, looking at it, I was like, oh, I really wasn't that good of a boyfriend. I didn't really make the small things matter as much. And that's a really big thing that I learned, is that you have to do the small things. The littlest little things. Like one day, my girlfriend Maddie, she was having a really, really bad day at work. Freaking terrible day at work. Sucked for her. I had gone to this football thing earlier that day, and when I got back, I was planning on dropping acid since my parents were home for the weekend. Took the acid. We're texting each other. She's at work. She's telling me she's had a bad day. Midway through my trip, I wasn't tripping that hard. It was about like 120 mics. If you have any idea how much that is, if you have experience, you'll understand. But it's like a very light. You get visuals. You feel great. You can dance and stuff, but you can still hold on like relatively good conversations with normal people. She was having a bad day. I walk to my workplace. It's about 1.5 miles away from my house. On the way there, I stop in people's gardens and I'm picking flowers. Little messed up, but you're a kid like me who was only 17 at the time that didn't want to go to the store fucked up. And I picked flowers. I walked to work, walk in the front door of the building, because our restaurant is like, it's a Sonic, if you know what that is, here in America. It's kind of like a drive-in. No one actually goes inside the store. All the workers are only inside the store. And I walk through the door with flowers in my hand, and she has the biggest smile on her face, knowing that I walked for her, that I care about her, and that I wanted to make her day better. And me just walking through that door made her day better. It's those little things. You have to do the little tiny things to make a relationship last. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned from my first relationship, is that you have to do small things. And I'm just repeating myself, but it's something that I believe in so much that like you have to do that.
Yeah, see, like I learned from my ex-girlfriend. We were talking not too long ago, and she called me a romantic, and I was like, I really know how I can be romantic. Like, see, one of the things, like, your goal when you have a relationship is to fall in love with her like you did every time you see her. You want to, because as soon as you like start getting repetitive, and it's just the relationship is the same thing, just banging and cuddling and whatnot. That's how relationships end. You just get tired of each other. And that's why a lot of marriages don't work, because you see them every day, and then you're just like, oh my God, this woman. And I think actually it's different than family and friend relationships, because if you actually just really love the girl, like I don't see how like an argument can come out, or like you can just grow to like just piss her off or get angry. But see, with me, I'm a little bit different because I'm kind of an asshole, and sometimes I just get tired of some things. So that's why I'm going to be very picky on the girl I choose, and and I'm going to make sure to give a little bit of break every now and then, not like too long, but just an okay amount. So like when I see her, it's something new.
Yeah.
Relationships are very scary to me still. I'm very scared of relationships, but I'm still trying to make friends. It's good to have friends.
Yeah. And from your friends, you will get loved ones.
Yeah.
Like I was like my current girlfriend, Maddie. Like I was friends with her for about 6 months. No. 8 months. Yeah, I was friends with her for 8 months before we started dating. Like it's kind of like a great thing to be a friend with a person before you actually start being romantic with that person, because you learn, like, is this actually a person I like?
Yeah, and see,
And it's not just like, oh, look at that cute girl in my class, I'm gonna go talk to her and maybe we'll
yeah.
bang or something.
See, that was like with my last relationship. She didn't see me, but like I barely knew her, and she just wanted to fucking cuddle. That was it. And oh man, and I was just like, oh my god, I think this is a good idea because she'll take my mind off things, it'll distract me, and I'll be happy. And then I just didn't see that what she just wanted. And well, I kind of did, so that I was hoping maybe she would change her mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make her wait 2 months, but that didn't work out. Oh, Raymond, you're very lucky.
No. I thank her. I thank my girlfriend every day. I tell her that she's the most beautiful woman every day, because I believe it. I don't think I'll ever find a woman as amazing as her ever again in my life. Yeah. I love you, Maddie. I know you're probably listening to this right now. If you're having trouble with a relationship and it's a relationship that you want to last, it's something that we talked about on the podcast number 1 with high school, and like the social aspect of it is like, you gotta talk. You gotta talk. Talk to your significant other. Like, if you have an issue, don't let it fester. Don't let it become a fight. Talk it out in a civil manner. If it leads to a fight, that sucks, but at least you didn't just let it fester and, have it just blow up in the middle of a Kmart with it being something totally unrelated.
And like with arguing, I love to argue. So, but I know with my girlfriend, there's just two like different things. Like, let's say I believe this, and they're like, no, but I believe this, and I can't prove myself because she can't prove herself either, or we're both proving something, and we're just not getting into an agreement. When I hopefully I gain the ability, like, when I'm able to detect that, so I can just say, like, you know what, we're not going to agree on this. Let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing to do. I try not to get in actual arguments with my girlfriend, like, on, like, certain issues. I mean, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. A lot of things. And, like, I don't have arguments with her. I have discussions with her. I like to talk to her. I don't like to try and prove her wrong. Because at the end of the day, I still love her for who she is and the person that she is. And I don't want to be rude to her. I don't want to be an asshole to her. I really don't. Sometimes I am, and that's just a part of my nature, and I feel like shit afterwards.
And actually every time, like, maybe not to make sure you just don't do too often, but everybody likes a little bit of salt. I've come to realize. Like with my friend, or with one of our friends in this group, Adrian, he had one of his girlfriends. He was just so, like, too nice, and she actually broke up with him just because there wasn't any really spice in the relationship.
Yeah, he was just too much of, like, a teddy bear, and not in the good way.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, you'd think some people like that. Would, like, love that, but it's just weird. Sometimes people just want a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is good, but
I mean,
but when you give too much salt, no, everybody hates that.
Yeah.
Too much salt.
Yeah, you got to find that right amount of spice.
Yes. Keep it interesting.
Yeah. I think as you said with Adrian, it was because he was too nice. Is because I think that was his first relationship. Actually, the thing about Adrian is that I don't think he really knew what he was doing, which no one really does with their first relationship. You're still feeling the waters. You're super nervous about things. You're super hesitant, and like I was for my first relationship. It was a month before I kissed my first girlfriend. I kissed Maddie, and that was the start of our relationship. That's how I knew, like, that's how it started. The night I went over to her house and I kissed her, and then she kissed me back like a crazy motherfucker, and I loved it. I felt like I was drunk for a minute. Drunk on love. It's a real thing.
And actually getting relationships is sometimes pretty hard, because I remember with me, in a way I was lucky because she did all the work. She was the one taking the risk, really. But you have to take risks.
You have to take risks.
You have to take risks. And I hate taking risks. Like, I couldn't gamble because I'm a big pussy. But now I know I have to try to be a little flirty. And so maybe if the girl doesn't like you, that's how you figure it out. And I could take a hint. And I noticed a lot of people aren't really good at taking hints. Like, some girl says, just like, let's say you're flirting with a girl and she says something and it just kind of downs you a little bit, like she turns you down. A lot of times the guys still are very persistent, try to fight for it.
Persistence works
a lot of times. But if you after the first 4 months, you just give up and just stop. But if you could tell you think you can reel her in, and it's just because she just met you, and she's just doing that because she just met you, it's okay. You kind of work for it. But it's really good to take risks.
If you feel like that woman is perfect for you, I think it's okay to be persistent. Like, for me, I kind of liked Maddie from the first time I saw her, because, holy shit, this woman's fucking hot. Oh my god. The first time going into my workplace, she was working there for a few months before me. But, I was good friends with her, and I kept on trying to make it a actual romantic relationship. I asked her to homecoming. I hung out with her a lot to try and see if anything would go somewhere. And it was really after a little bit, probably after 4 months of just trying and hanging out, that she actually started to get feelings for me. She actually started to, the thing is that I knew that Maddie was the perfect woman for me. I knew it. The way she acted, the way she talked, the way she viewed the world, it was perfect for me.
And it's like what I said earlier, you don't fall in love right then and there when you see her. You just one day you just might wake up and say, "Oh my god, this girl is perfect."
Yeah. I mean, it was around a month and a half into the relationship with Maddie. There was just this moment. I don't even remember what it was about, but I just remember the feeling. And I felt this connection. I was like, holy shit, this woman actually cares about me. She cares about me more than anything in this world. Holy fuck, she feels the same way as I do.
It's a really good feeling, isn't it?
It's a magical feeling. It's one of the greatest feelings you can ever have in the world. It's better than busting a nut.
It's better than and I had that same feeling with my ex-girlfriend. Just the way she was and the way I was. I'm kind of an asshole. I do realize, and I'm a little awkward, but I wasn't with her anyway. But it was just the way she was. I was like, I don't think I would ever have an argument with this girl. And she was just always positive. She was never negative. Even if something negative happened, she was just always woohoo, drugs, and I was like, I really, really like this girl. And high school relationships, they're so weird to me. I don't understand how a lot of people. I don't understand how a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Raymond over here and he found a good girl, but a lot of times they're just there to fuck each other.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing with my relationship. My girlfriend is out of high school. She's already out of high school, so I don't have to worry about the whole, she's going to move away to college. I'm planning on joining the U.S. military, in the U.S. Navy as a hospital corpsman. A medic, or as my dad calls it, you're gonna be a fucking nurse, which I'm okay with. And Madison knows that I want to do this with my life, and she's very supportive of it. And we were talking about it one day. It's like, dude, I'm going to have to go up to Chicago for 8 weeks. And then after that, I don't know where I'm going. Probably San Antonio, because that's where the main A school is for what I want to go into.
Can you be stationed in Hawaii?
Yeah, I could. It's possible. Or Okinawa, Germany, anywhere. Any naval base, really. And she told me, okay, well, I'm going to move to Chicago with you. I was like, what? You're gonna just move for 2 months just to be with me? It's like, yeah, of course. Oh, where do I sign the marriage documents?
Oh wait, doesn't the military pay for her to live there too?
No, only if she's married.
Okay.
I know what you're pointing at, but I have a plan.
Like my uncle, he's going into the army. And the army, and he's married to his girlfriend, and I know like he was at base camp for a while. She just stayed at home, but now he's at base right now in not Fort Worth, that one up north Texas, Fort Hood. And
that one.
Yeah.
And that's a bad place to be stationed.
And she's living on the base right now with him. Yeah, it was pretty
cool. Cool.
And she doesn't have to pay for anything. And they have kids, so they're worrying about. She's just babysitting the kids, really.
All right. I mean, I as much as I love Maddie and as much as I want to put a ring on that finger, I'm not doing it until at least 2 years into the relationship. Like that's just how I view things. Like, I think my parents got very, very lucky with their relationship with each other. Is that they married each other in less than 8 months.
Yeah.
But my dad told me that when he saw my mom for the very first time, he knew that she was perfect for him. Which is a very weird thing, because my dad is usually like this tough guy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking man, blah, blah, blah. But like, when he told me about that, I was like, holy shit, this man's a human being that cares about my mom so much. And I feel the same way about Maddie. I really do. I want to spend the rest of my life with Maddie. But I want to be financially stable when I marry her. I want to be already done with all my basic training stuff, all my schooling for the military. I want to be in a good place where I can provide her with a home, and she's supporting herself also through her own job or whatever, and she's happy where she is in life, and I'm working somewhere, hopefully in the U.S., and we can just live together. And then I'll pop the question, even though she already knows. I already know the answer. She's already told me the answer before. But actually, like, put a ring on that finger and not just like a ring pop as a joke. Here you go, baby, I got you a ring pop. But yeah, like, I want to wait a bit because I want to make sure this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is love her. And I want to right now, but I just don't know. But I'm pretty sure I know.
And see, with me, I really don't plan on getting married. I want a girlfriend right now because I just see so many, like, I know it's kind of horrible to say, but I just see so many uses. It's just a big distraction for me. And everybody's different. So, like, with me, I'm a really free-spirited guy. I just want to go live and do a whole bunch of things. So, like, I'm never going to get married. And, but I'm not going to say I'm not going to fall in love. And if I fall in love, I would hate to do, like, if she really did like me, but I would hate to break up with her for it. But I really feel like I would, though. I would leave just to go live my life. I know it's like an asshole thing to do, but I just know if I don't want to live the life that everybody else is going to live, just because I want to be different. I'm kind of a hipster.
Yeah. Weird ass hipsters.
Weird hipster.
Weird hipster, man. I think that's going to conclude this part of the podcast, part 3, romantic relationships. Thank you for listening. We'll be posting the last. We'll be posting the very last part of the podcast tomorrow. It's going to be strategic relationships, and after that, we are posting the full podcast for people who want to listen to it all in one go, and also on SoundCloud, so it's easier to listen to. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see y'all tomorrow.